Now we start with the next part of how do organisms reproduce. In the second part, we have to consider the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Now these sexual reproduction in the flowering plants, we have taken the example of hibiscus, or we can also take mustard. Now this hibiscus, it is a bisexual plant, means both the male gametes and the female gametes. The male reproductive organs and the female reproductive organs, they are present in the same plant, the flower of the same plant. Therefore, they are called bisexual. If you consider watermelon, if you consider papaya, then they are monosexual. They contain only one reproductive organ. Okay. Now, the plants in which the sex organs, they are carried by the flower. Okay, and then enclosed in the fruit. Such plants, they are called angiosperms, and these angiosperms, they are generally called flowering plants. Okay, today we are going to consider the example of hibiscus. You need to know the different parts of the flower. Okay, before we come to both the reproductive organs, we should know that this flower, it consists of a receptacle. This receptacle, it is the basic part of the flower which holds all the different parts of the flower. Above the receptacle, there is a carpel, sepals. These sepals, they are green colored small parts which hold the flower when it is in the primitive stage. Then above the sepals, there are the petals. These petals are strongly colored and they are scented also. They are generally they are attracting the insects and the birds for pollination. So these are the petals. They are strongly colored and nicely scented. And between these petals, there are the two reproductive organs of the plant. One is the male reproductive organ and the other is the female reproductive organ. The male reproductive organ, it consists of the anther and the filament. Together, this anther and the filament, they are known as the stamens. There may be many stamens are there in this male reproductive organ. Now these stamens they contain this anther, and on the anther there are pollen grains. The white powdery part which is present when you touch a flower, that white part, they are known as the pollen grains, and these pollen grains, they are present in the anther. Okay, so you have to remember that the male reproductive organ, it consists of the anther and the filament. This stalk is known as the filament, and this is the anther on which the pollen grains are present. Okay. Then we come to the female reproductive part. The female reproductive part, it is known as the carpel or it is known as the pistil. Remember, carpel or the pistil. This is the female reproductive organ. It has got three parts. The topmost part, it is known as the stigma. The middle part, the filament like, it is known as the style, and the lower part where the egg is there, it is known as the ovary. So this carpel, it is divided into three parts: the stigma, the style and the ovary. Okay. So now the male reproductive parts and the female reproductive parts, both are present in the same flower. Okay. So therefore we are calling this a bisexual flower. Okay. Now what happens? The two main parts that take place when a zygote is formed, means when fertilization takes place, male gamete and female gamete, they unite to form the zygote. Now before they form the zygote, there should be pollination. Pollination means what? These pollen grains from the anther, they will move to the stigma. So the movement of the pollen grains from the anther of the stamen to the stigma of the carpel, this transfer of pollen grains, it is called what? Pollination. Okay. So therefore, first it will be pollination and then there will be fertilization. Means always before fertilization there should be pollination. Okay. Now this pollination, it is generally done by wind or by birds or by insects or by water. Okay. And this pollination means the pollen grains will be transferred from the anther to the stigma. Okay. Now these pollen grains, when they are transferred from the anther of the stamen to reach the stigma of the carpel, this is called what? Pollination. Now this pollination, it may be of two types. One is called self-pollination and the other is called cross-pollination. Now self-pollination means what? When the same flower, means the anther of the same flower and the stigma of the same flower, there is transfer of pollen grains, then it is called self-pollination. And when the different anther, the pollen grains from the other flower, means the anther of the other flower, come to the stigma of another flower, means there is pollination between two different flowers, then it is called what? Cross pollination. So remember, you should know what is self pollination and what is cross pollination. Okay. Now after pollination, what happens? Now the pollen grains have come to the stigma. Now this pollen grains, it contains what? It contains the male gamete, and the ovary, it contains the female gamete. When now we want to unite the male gamete and the female gamete, the pollen grains have already come to what? The stigma. Now these pollen grains, they contain the male gamete. Now this pollen grain, they develop a pollen tube. This pollen tube, it moves from the stigma to the style and then to the ovary. Means this male gamete, it will be transferred from the pollen grain to the ovary. Okay, ovary is the outer part, ovule is the inner part. In the ovule, there is the female gamete, which is called the egg. Now this pollen tube, it is developed by the pollen sac, and this pollen sac from this tube is developed into the style and then it comes into the ovule, and this male gamete then falls, it unites with the female gamete and it forms the zygote. This female gamete, remember, it is also called the egg or it is also called the ovum. So this is how fertilization has taken place. A tube is developed from the pollen sac and then that tube it bursts and it unites with the female gamete. Okay, so this is the union of the male and the female gamete which leads to fertilization. Okay, so this fertilization, what is fertilization then? When the male and the female gamete, okay, from the pollen grain unite with the female gamete or egg or ovum of the ovule to form the zygote. This is called fertilization, and this zygote then it divides again and again to form the embryo. This embryo remains in the ovule and finally in the ovule it is forming a very hard seed, and this is the base where from which a new plant will be formed. Okay, so in this way one plant reproduces with the help of formation of what? Seeds. Again, when these seeds get a favorable conditions, again it will grow into a new plant. Okay, so in this way this is called sexual reproduction in plants. So you have to remember basically what are the different parts of the plant. First, it is the receptacle which holds all the parts of the plant. Then there are sepals, the small green structures which are present above the receptacle. Then the petals which are colored and scented which attract the insects. And inside the petals there are two reproductive organs, the male and the female. The male reproductive organ, it is called as the stamen, and this stamen it consists of the anther and the filament. The female reproductive organ, remember, it is called the carpel or the pistil. It consists of three parts, that is the stigma, the style and the ovary. Now the male and female reproductive organs, they are present in the same plant, therefore it is a bisexual plant. This bisexual plant, after pollination, it will undergo fertilization. For pollination, the factors which are taking place are insects or birds or air or wind or water. Then what is pollination? The transfer of the pollen grains from the anther of the stamen to the stigma of the carpel. This is called what? Pollination. Once the pollen grains are on the stigma, from the stigma they will move from the style into the ovary. Means that will be the union of the male and the female gamete. In the pollen grains there is the male gamete and in the ovary there is the female gamete. This male and female gamete, when they unite, it will form the zygote. This zygote will divide again and again and it will form the embryo, and that will lead to the formation of a very hard ovule, and that very hard ovule, it is known as the seed, and under favorable conditions this seed it will develop into a new plant. And so this is how a hibiscus plant it reproduces with the help of what? Seeds. Okay, and remember the ovule is inside and the ovary is outside. This ovary which is outside, it will develop into the juicy fruit which we eat. Okay, so here this is how sexual reproduction takes place in flowering